Hi everyone, I'm Kelly, and today I'd love to bring you 60 minutes of a vinyasa flow, hopefully just to help you move, calm your mind a little bit, and focus on your breath. So I'll give a disclaimer, this is my first recorded yoga class, so it might be a little awkward, but that's kind of my MO, so here we go. Start in a tall seat. You can shift the weight from out under your sits bones so you feel really connected to the earth. Remove any extra flesh. And then grow your spine really long. Stack your head over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips. Pull the belly slightly to your spine to encourage some integrity throughout the whole torso. Settle your eyes closed if it feels comfortable and start to pay attention to your breath. Notice how it feels naturally when you inhale and exhale. And then start to bring intention to your inhales, making them really big, filling up your lungs, expanding the rib cage forward and backwards. On the exhale, contracting the rib cage in towards midline. We'll try that again. Inhale, expand. And exhale, bring it in. Now let's take the rib cage out side to side. So we can envision expansion outwards on the inhale. And contraction on the exhale. Take that again. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Now let's try growing tall in our spine on the inhale. Coming back to center on your exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale, contract. Inhale, let's bring our arms overhead. Reach them high to the sky. Exhale, let your right hand come down towards the earth. Left hand reaches up and over your head for a side body stretch. Notice if you've shifted weight out of your sits bones. Try to put some more weight back into that left sit bone here so you're feeling really rooted. You can bend your bottom elbow as much as you'd like. Perhaps send your gaze upwards as you open your chest. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Exhale, take it to the other side. Finding your version of extension here. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, drop your chin to your chest. Feel some extension in the back of your neck, a little stretch. Bring our head back to center. Let's make our way to tabletop. So we'll stack our shoulders over our wrists, hips over knees. You can start moving however feels good here. Maybe some sways side to side. Bring shoulder to hip, finding extension in the opposite side body. And then we'll find stillness here. Press into your finger pads. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, open up at your collarbones. Cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, cat pose, tailbone points down, head drops. Inhale for cow. exhale, cat. One more time, just like that. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round your spine. Come into stillness here and then widen your knees. Bring your big toes to touch behind you. Sit back onto your heels. And we'll make our way to child's pose. Extended child's pose with arms overhead. Arms can also be down by your side. So I'll demonstrate full extended child's pose. Option to put a block here or anything that resembles a block, maybe a stack of books or a pillow to find a little bit more lift in the torso, or you can draw the knees together here. Bring arms down by your side. So find your variation and take several breaths here. Once you've done that, we'll press back into tabletop. Curl your toes under, heels are lifted. Shift our arms just a bit forward, maybe a little bit more out with the hands. Then curl your toes under, begin to lift your hips, keep your knees really bent here as you press your torso, your chest back towards your thighs. Take some shifts or bends in the knees until you get to downward facing dog. Draw the lower ribs in. So you might find that there's a little bit of dumping going on. The goal here is to have a really long spine. That might mean bending the knees a lot. Heels might lift. Press into your finger pads, taking some pressure out of your wrists. Perhaps lift your heels here, and then lower them on an exhale. Together we'll inhale, gaze to the top of our mat, and then walk, step, or jump there, perhaps taking tiny steps for forward fold. Now with this first forward fold, we might bend our knees a lot so that we can feel a little bit more extension in our spine. Grab for opposite elbows. Really bring your weight into your toes. Release your hands. Bring the toes closer. You can have them touch or maybe hip width distance. We'll roll up one vertebra at a time to standing. Take your time here. Your head arrives last. Stand with palms facing forward. Lift your chest, shoulder blades come on to kiss on your back. And check in with your feet. Notice where you're distributing the weight in your feet. So bring awareness to your feet. We'll find distribution of the weight in our body amongst the four corners of our feet. So if you can envision, there's four corners, two up top, two in the back. Try to find a lift in the arch. Notice where you're placing your weight in your feet. And breathe. Let's lift our arms overhead together. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Samastitihi, standing at attention. Option to settle your eyes closed here and allow yourself to settle on an intention for your practice. It doesn't need to be anything fancy or anything huge. You know, this quarantine time can feel like a lot of pressure, especially if you have been connecting on social media to get things done. So Perhaps your intention today is to be okay with doing nothing. Inhale, we'll drop our hands, lift them overhead. Mountain pose, and pause here. Let your shoulders drop down. So you might even make kind of a circle, a big open circle with the arms. Can't really see me up here. To start, soften the shoulders. Check back in with your feet. Scan up your body from your feet. Inhale. Exhale, you'll hinge at the hips and fold forward. Melt your heart down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise all the way up. Mountain pose. Take a pause here. There might be something else calling to you, perhaps a back bend. Cactusing the arms, lifting your chest. We'll fold together on an exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins or to your thighs or even to the mat. What we're looking for is a long spine. So you can't necessarily see that here, but a long spine. Shoulder blades come onto your back. Pull your belly button in to protect your lower back. And send your head, the crown of your head, far out so that your spine is one long line. Inhale. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, mountain pose, rise all the way up one last time through our sun A. Exhale for a back bend here if you'd like, lifting up at the heart, opening your chest, maybe gazing up. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold, soften your chest down. Inhale, halfway. And fold. Good. Inhale, sit low. Pull your belly to your spine. Shift your hips back. And then maybe lift your heels, or rather your toes up, and then soften them down. We want to find connectedness in the toes, but the weight is mostly in the heels. And your knees, we'll try to shift back so our knees are over our ankles, or as close as they can get. I know every body's different. And the energy is squeezing inward. So we want to draw everything in towards midline. Imagine you have a block between your thigh. If you do have a block or a book or something else, you can put that in between the thighs here to demonstrate how much activation we have in our core muscles in chair. You might lift your arms straight ahead in front of you, or perhaps lift the biceps up towards the ears. Keep squeezing, sit back. One more breath in. Exhale, fold, let it go. Maybe shake out your head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's come down to plank. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your heels. Come over your toes, pull your belly in. And we'll lower all the way down to our belly here. Elbows come in towards your ribs. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders, or you might widen your fingers out a bit. Gaze down, zip up your legs, press into your toenails. Inhale, cobra pose. Keep pressing the toenails into the earth. Exhale, release. Let's take two more like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Bring hands under your shoulders. Press into the tabletop here. You might take a round of cat-cow. And we'll make our way to downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, lift your hips, press your chest back towards your thighs. Try to find length in the spine. That might mean bending your knees and lifting your hips. We'll bring our toes to touch behind us. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Dial the toes down towards the earth. Keep our hips in line. We'll press into your finger pads here, taking weight out of your wrists. Inhale. Exhale, knee comes through, almost touching our nose. Land your foot down in the mat. Start by lowering our back knee down. You can either flip your back toes or keep the top of your foot down. Inhale, we lift for a low lunge with back knee down. Might take a couple pulses here. Just notice where you're feeling sensation. Maybe your hips are really tight from a lot of sitting. Maybe you're feeling it in your hamstrings or somewhere completely different. Just notice what's going on in your body. Start to cultivate some curiosity. And stay with the breath. From here, we'll draw the hands down towards the earth. Shift your hips back and come onto your heel for half splits. Front leg or front knee can be super bent or might be long. Okay. Breathe here. Let your heart lift out in front of you. Pull the toes back towards your shin. Shift your hips straight back. So they might start to dip to one side. Just shift them straight back. Inhale, we'll come forward, plant our front foot, shift your hands up, and then curl the back toes under, lift your back knee. We're now in a low lunge. Let's bring our front foot back to meet our back foot. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Gather the toes, the big toes to touch the back of your mat. We'll inhale, lift the opposite leg high. Pay attention to our back toes. We'll dial them down towards the mat. One more breath in. Exhale, knee comes through. Land your foot down, lower the back knee. We'll lift up into the slow lunge. Might find some rocks back and forth. Hands can be lifted. You can also interlace your fingers behind your neck. Lift your heart, pressure your head into your hands to find some opening in the chest. One more breath in here. Exhale, plant the hands down on the earth. Shift your hips back. Heel comes back. Toes pull back towards your shin. Lift your heart, find extension in the spine, and breathe. You can bend the knee as much as you'd like. Just keep that in mind. Shift both hips back in space. Pull your toes back towards your shins. Deep breaths. We'll shift forward onto our front foot. Plant the hands on either side. Curl back toes under to lift your back knee. And bring your front foot to meet your back. Downward facing dog. And that'll be our Sun B. We'll move through that one breath to one movement. So let's all exhale our air together here. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your space, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, sit low, arms come up. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, come to high plank, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Make your way to downward facing dog. And bring the toes to touch behind you. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Drop the back knee. Inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale, place them down. Inhale, shift the hips back. Pull your toes back towards your shin. And exhale, plant your foot. We'll curl the back toes under. Lift your back knee. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, stay. Big toes come to touch behind you. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Over the back knee down. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, plant your hands down. Inhale, we'll shift our hips back. Our toes pulling back towards our face, our shin. Place our foot back down. Pull your back toes under. Lift your back knee. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Very good. Getting a little warm. Okay. Whew. Okay. So down dog's where we meet. Bring attention to your breath. Inhale, gaze to the top of your mat. Exhale, walk, step, or jump to meet your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, melt your heart down. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, release. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Press into tabletop here. We'll make our way down to a seat. Hopefully you're feeling a little more warmed up. From here, come onto our backs. Do a little belly up core. And I always try to explain why I like to incorporate core. And a big reason is that it helps our stability when we stand or when we're in a balancing posture or an uneven stance, to have a strong core. It's also, if we think about chakras or energy, our solar plexus chakra is located here in the core, and this chakra or this energy is associated with our personal power. And so feeling confident, embodying ourselves fully. So working to strengthen that, working to build up some confidence, or reinforce it if you're already feeling pretty confident. So we'll get started. Lower all the way down to your back. And stack your knees over your hips. Your shins will come parallel to the earth or at a 90-degree angle to your thighs. We'll bring our arms bent at the elbows, peace fingers, pointer finger and middle finger behind our ears. Elbows are wide. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, extend your left leg long. Bring your left elbow to right knee. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And twist. So keep going on your own, and the key here is to try to find a lift up with your chest first before bringing it inwards towards your knee. Inhales to come down. Exhales, twist. Inhales to center. Exhale, twist. Now even it out, so do one more on each side. You can bring your knees into your chest, massage your lower back, rock side to side. And we'll bring hands behind our knees or behind our thighs. Rock and roll the length of your spine if that feels okay. And we'll come to sitting on our sits bones. If you need to rearrange some flesh to feel more connected, you can do so. We'll bend our knees, lift your chest, looking for a long spine here. Bring our hands behind our thighs. So this is where you might stay. You can stay here in a version of boat pose, Navasana. If you'd like to level up, you might lift your heels. So keeping your chest lifted. And then another way to level up is removing the hands, not sacrificing the long spine that we have. So lift your chest, take open mouth exhales to release heat. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Bring knees into your chest. You might wrap your arms around your shins, bending around in your spine. Give yourself a hug. Nice. Final posture or series that we'll do for core is spinal balance. So for this, if your knees are particularly sensitive, you might consider adding a cushion underneath your knees, or if it's particularly painful to be on one knee, you might sit out for this, and you can actually do it supine or on your back. So I'll demonstrate what it looks like first. Find tabletop, hands into the mat, shoulders above your wrists, hips over your knees. And then you can either roll your mat over to find some extra cushion for that right knee. Maybe put a blanket under there. So root your left hand to the mat, press into the finger pads, take that philosophy of distributing the weight amongst the 4 corners of your feet into your hands. So trying to find a lift in our palm. Good, we'll extend our right arm long, our left leg out behind us. And then activate your core here. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Lift your right arm out. Find extension. And then notice the left shoulder. You might be finding that we're dumping into it. We'll press our hand to the mat to lift out. Inhale. Exhale, let's bring elbow to knee. Find cat in the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Last time, inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it in. We'll extend for an inhale. And then plant our hand down, our knee down. You might roll out your wrists. Take any counter stretches in your legs. Before we move on to the other side. So the opportunity to find some extra cushion for your left knee here. Right hand roots into the mat. Left arm extends long, right leg extends. Pull your belly button to your spine. Lift with your glute. Find extension. Inhale. And exhale, bring it in. Round the spine like cat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach. Last time. We'll reach for the transition. Inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, your knee. Take any wrist rolls. anything else you might need here. Nice. Weather's pretty crazy in Colorado. One day it's snowing, the next day it's 70 and sunny. I'd say it's probably a pretty nice thing to have during quarantine when every day kind of feels the same. You can mix it up a little bit. I'm happy for it to be a sunny day though. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Plant your hands into the mat, lift your hips, maybe pedal out your legs, gaze under each shoulder. Good. Let's bring our big toes to touch behind us. Inhale, lift your right leg high, heel lifts towards the sky, toes dial down. One more breath in. Exhale, knee comes through, plant your foot on the ground. Now let's separate our feet out into separate train tracks here. We'll lift all the way up into crescent lunge. You'll have a chance to notice how this feels. So we want our hips to have space. So our feet will be a little bit wider. Lift your back heel, maybe bend your back knee, press back into the heel to find some more extension, some more sensation. Hands can come to your hips to guide them forward, or they can come up. And stay connected in your core. Pull your belly in, breathe. Option to lower your back knee if you'd like at any point here. Let's bring our hands to our heart. Inhale, find length. Exhale, revolve crescent lunge. Bring left elbow to the outside of right knee. You might lower your back knee down at this point for more stability and a deeper twist. Stack elbows over one another. Press your hands together. We're here for 3. Lower our hands down in 2. And 1. Plant your hands on the inside of your right foot. We'll widen our space here by toe heeling our front foot up and out. It's a good place for blocks if you'd like to put them under your hands to find some more height. Or you might come down to your forearms. Try to keep our right knee on top of or behind our right ankle. And you might settle your head down. Press your hands into the mat, lift your chest up. Shift your hips back. You can walk the front foot back to center and make your way back to downward facing dog. Bring our feet to touch. Inhale, lift your left heel high. Exhale, low lunge. Widen your stance. Lift into a high crescent lunge, or you might lower your back knee down. Your choice. And plug in everything we've been working on. So pull the belly button towards your spine. Bend your back knee, press your heel back to find some more extension in the leg, more sensation. Heel can come to stack over your toes. And then maybe bring your hands to your hips to guide them forward. You can keep your arms up. Breathe. Most important thing. Bring our hands to our heart. Find extension in your chest. And on an exhale, revolve crescent lunge. Bring your right elbow to left knee. I lowered my back knee on the other side, so I'll do that here. But know that it's just an option. Another option too, if this irritates your wrist, is to form a fist with one of your hands. You can figure out which one feels better. We're here for 3. Come down to runner's lunge in 2. 1, plant hands on the inside of your foot. Walk your front foot up and out. Notice where you're putting the weight in your hands here. You might be putting more into your wrists, so you could press into finger pads or even form fists. Otherwise, you can come down to forearms. That feels good. Try to release tension from your face, from your jaw. And we'll press our hands into the mat, lift your chest up, shift hips back slightly, walk the foot up, come back to downward facing dog. Let's bring our toes back to touch. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. This time, spin your back foot down. We'll open into warrior two. So you might surf it out. We're looking for a long stance with our front heel in line with our back arch or our back heel. So it's different from the crescent lunge. And start to get curious about what's happening in the body. We'll start with the feet. Really connecting, grounding down through our feet, especially this knife edge of our back foot. You can either find a parallel line between back foot and back of the mat, or back toes can slightly point in. That might help get a little more traction into your back heel. Bend into your front knee, bringing it over your ankle if that feels okay. And then track the knee over towards your pinky toe, opening up your hip. Extend your arms out, shoulders are stacked over our hips. Warrior two. Might flip the palms here and flip them again. Notice if that affects your shoulders at all. Slide them down our back. Nice. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Sass your hips back slightly or just push them back slightly in space. We'll inhale, reach forward. And exhale, clock your arms to earth and sky. Front arm comes down, back arm lifts. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Check in. Staying connected through the feet. Maybe you find a soft bend in your front knee. You can drag your front heel towards the middle of your mat. Press your knee forward if it's kind of a struggle to bend. Breathe here. Stack your shoulders on top of one another. Lean back a little bit. Maybe send your gaze up. Find engagement in your belly. Full breaths. We're here for 3. We'll come up to warrior two in 2. And in 1. Lift back up into warrior two. Let's straighten both legs and pivot both feet so the toes are pointing forward. Good. Let's bring our arms out to a T. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Swan dive down to wide-legged forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. From here you might take hand to opposite ankle, lift, find a twist. Or you can keep your head down, bring your weight into your toes. We'll tee out our arms. Use your strong core, long spine to rise back up. Warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your arms, frame your front foot. You can make your way through a vinyasa or meet us in downward facing dog. The other side, bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, left heel lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Warrior two on this side. I'll switch sides to make it more clear. We'll set this up. So front heel in line with back arch, or back heel, and your back foot's really rooted into the mat. You might even dial the toes in a bit and press through the outside edge of your foot. Front knee stacks over your front ankle if that feels okay. And reach your knee more outwards towards your pinky toe to find a little more opening. And I just noticed my shoulders were a little forward, so bring your shoulders in line above your hips. Extend your arms out, maybe flip the palms, bringing awareness to our shoulders, lifting our heart. And breathe. Good. Inhale, we'll straighten our front knee. Push the hips back slightly. Inhale, reach. And exhale, triangle pose. Front arm comes down, back arm lifts. Shoulder blades, or rather shoulders are on top of one another. Gaze can be up or anywhere you'd like. Try to find a micro bend in your front knee. Staying rooted through your feet. And stay with your breath. Good. We'll start to bend the front knee, rise up to warrior two. And then straighten the back knee, pivot the toes to face forward. This time, option for chest expansion. That'll look like this from the side. Bringing your fingers to connect, interlaced. Another way to do this would be to grab for your forearms. So take your pick. You can also skip it. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips, melt your heart down. Elbows can remain bent. Several breaths here. Release your grip at any moment. We'll tee our arms out, pull the belly in, long spine, inhale, reach, rise up. Return to warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your arms. Option for vinyasa, or you can skip it and meet in downward facing dog. Flip to the other side here. I have sensitive knees and you prefer to take it a little bit more safe today, which is totally okay. Come down to your back. Do supine figure four. Crossing ankle over your knee. Maybe reaching through the keyhole to grab behind your thigh. Otherwise, if you'd like to move down into half pigeon, we'll meet in down dog. Inhale, lift your heel high. Right heel or left, you can do either side. Exhale, bring your knee behind the same wrist. Lower your back knee down, scoot it back into space. Take a gaze back. Might not be able to fully gaze back, but just make sure your toes are pointing back. Your ankle is sickling to one side. Give it a little nudge and point the toes straight back. This will help align hips and thighs. Send your gaze forward. Option to lower down into sleeping half pigeon. Wherever you are, if it's in supine figure four or half pigeon, notice the muscles in your face. And we're looking for some release here. Stay with your breath. Also pay attention if your mind starts to wander in these moments of stillness, which is totally okay. You can always bring your attention back to your breath. We will start to bring hands to the earth, lifting our hearts. Might curl back, toes under, and shift the knee forward, just giving yourself a little more space. If you're in supine figure 4, you can switch out your legs now. Coming back to down dog, if you were just in half pigeon, let's make our way to the other side. Inhale, lift your left heel high, or opposite heel. Exhale, knee comes behind the same wrist. Lower the back knee down. Shift it back in space and point your toes back. If you can see back there, great. If you can't, no big deal. Just try to feel where your toes are in space. Press them back, heel is on top of your foot. So lift up, inhale. Exhale, you can stay here, maybe you find sleeping half pigeon. And make an effort to do a body scan, release any tension that's going on in the muscles. Press our hands into the mat, lift your heart. Perhaps shift the back knee forward, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. If you were in supine figure 4, just make your way to your belly. We'll shift forward, lower all the way down to our bellies. Alright, so we've done cobra before. You might take a wider stance this time. Press your toenails into the mat, zip your legs up. Inhale, lift up, gaze can be down for more extension in the neck. Exhale, lower. We'll try that one more time. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. This time, bring your hands, interlace your lower back. Might press the fingers all the way back for straight arms. Gaze is down. Inhale, we'll lift everything up this time. Locust pose. Point your toes back. Stay with your breath. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Release your arms on down to one ear. You might lift your heels. Sway side to side. Windshield wiper in the shins. Notice your heartbeat. From here, we'll make our way to our back. We'll be here for the rest of class. So, get excited. Come this way. We'll do bridge pose. So if you do have a block and you'd like to use it and make this more restorative, welcome to pause the video, grab that, or just grab it now. Let's bend our knees, put your feet into the mat, scoot your heels towards your glutes, arms come down by your side, you might be able to touch your heels. Knees are hip width distance, and arms down by your side. We'll start by inhaling, lifting our hips. Perhaps we shimmy our shoulders a little more under our heart to find a lift. If you want to slide a block under your sacrum at this point, you're welcome to. Otherwise, stay lifted. You can bring fingers interlaced at your lower back. Notice your knees. Keep them in line with your hips. And let go of any tension in your glutes. Notice what that does to your hips. Maybe they lower if you release your glutes. This will help target the back muscles that we're looking to strengthen. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Chin points up towards the sky. Our chest is chasing our chin. We're here for 3. Find a release in 2. And 1. Release. Lower your back all the way down. Remove your block. Widen your foot stance and knock your knees in together here. Let's bring one hand to our belly, one hand to our heart. Big exhale. Exhale, your eyes closed. Feel your back connected to the earth, to your mat. Heart rate possibly elevated from that heart opener. Good. Now we'll take Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of our feet together, knees come wide, and I want you to pay attention to what happens to the small of your back when you get into this posture. So just notice if it kind of lifts up. Can you tilt your pelvis back in space? So if our bowl was sideways facing my face or facing the wall behind me, can we tilt slightly back in our pelvis and press the soles of our feet together? You might slide blocks underneath your thighs if this feels super tight on the hips. You can bring hands to your belly or one hand to your heart here. Press the soles of your feet together and breathe. Your breath can be natural here, always wanting to come back to it, but let it be. Close our knees like a book. Bring them into our chest. We rock side to side. Happy baby. Widen your knees. Heels are high, pointing up towards the sky. You can grab for your feet, your ankles, your shins, your thighs, anything that allows you to connect your whole spine to the earth. Option to sway side to side like a baby, a happy baby. You make this your own by straightening one leg and the other, taking any other variations or add-ons that you'd like. When you're done with that, we'll bring our knees into our chest. Squeeze them tight and then stack knees over your hips. Guide them over to one side. Let them fall. Opposite arm extends out. Maybe your gaze goes that way. Let go of any effort here, any trying. Release any tension that you might be feeling in the body. You can take a big exhale if that helps. Sigh it out. Bring our knees back together over our torso and move them over to the other side. Opposite arm goes long. Releasing of effort here. On your own time, we'll meet back in the center. Knees into our chest, arms can wrap around our knees. Give yourself a big squeeze, a big hug. And then release into your final Shavasana, final resting posture. Grab any props or extra sweatshirts or anything that might make you feel a little more cozy. And our job here is to soak up the benefits, integrate the benefits of our practice into this final resting pose. Welcome to do a body scan and release any tension that you're still holding on to. You're welcome to stay where you are for as long as you like. If you'd like to keep your day moving or your night, or move on to the next activity, you can start bringing tiny movements into your fingers and toes. Maybe a deeper breath into your lungs. We'll take a big morning stretch as if we're just waking up, full body. Make your way into a supported fetal position on either side. Knees come into our chest. You can rest on a bicep. Use your top arm to press you into a seat. Once you get here, sit tall, grow our spine long. Hands can come to rest on our thighs, palms facing down for more grounding energy, palms facing up for more active energy. Release our breath together so we can take one as a community. Exhale wherever you are. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, release. One more like that. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, let something go. Let's bring our hands to our heart. Take a moment to revisit your intention for class. Maybe it was to be okay with doing nothing. Or anything else you're personally working on. Bring our thumbs to our third eye center, the space between our eyebrows, our seat of intuition. The light the teacher in me sees, honors, and reflects the light the teacher in all of you and all things. Namaste. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Let me know if you have any feedback. I always want to try to refine and improve upon my teaching, and anything I can make more clear, let me know. Good or bad feedback, I'm open to it. Yeah, hope to see you again, and have a great rest of your day.